Kids don't forget.
Kids don't forget.
You kids don't forget.
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 Shantá, how you doing today?
Great.
Appreciate you being here. How you feeling?
I'm good. I'm good.
So did I say your name correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay. So let me hear you say it.
Shantá.
And how is it spelled?
Shanta.
Okay. And do you put an accent on the A?
I sure do.
Okay. So people know to say it Shantá. It's
People
not.
do not notice it that.
So how's it been? How does it get mispronounced?
I've gotten Shanta, of course.
Right.
Shanta. I've gotten Chantel. I don't
Okay.
know where the L comes from.
Right.
That's about it.
Okay. But it's pronounced Shantá.
Shantá.
Okay. Did you have any nicknames growing up?
I did.
What were they?
Shawnee is the main one.
Okay.
That's family.
Roxanne.
Word. Or anybody real close to me, you know, they know to call me Shawnee. I've had a couple of other ones, Dimples.
Right. Who called you Dimples?
Just friends from school.
Okay.
That's basically it.
Okay.
Childhood.
Now you also mentioned Shani Wani.
Oh yeah.
Who calls you Shani Wani?
My mother is the only one who called me Shani Wani.
Okay, so if you heard that and you were at some airport in Dallas and somebody said Shani Wani and it was a female voice, you instantly know who it is.
I would.
And you would not look like you would fight it like I'm not turning around.
That's mine.
And you also said somebody called you China.
They did call me China.
Okay, who was that?
People in Philly.
People in Philly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Folks in Philly.
Interesting. So speaking of Philly, where are you from?
That's a hard question to answer.
Okay.
I'm a Navy brat.
Military
brat. So I've been all over. But my roots, I would say, are Jersey, Philly, and Japan.
Okay. So you've been all over the world?
I have.
Who was your military parent? Your dad, your mom?
Both my dad and my stepdad.
Okay. What branches?
Army.
Oh, you just said it. Navy.
And Navy.
Navy and Army. Mm-hmm. Okay. Where have you traveled? Where have you lived?
I've lived in Japan.
Where in Japan?
Yokosuka.
Say it again? Yokosuka? Okay. Yeah. How was that?
That was awesome. That's home.
Okay,
That's home for me.
Got it.
I spent my most fundamental years there, so.
Okay.
I've been all over. Washington State, Jersey, Philly, Kentucky, Texas, Virginia. My childhood was,
So where in Washington?
Bremerton was the first place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Seattle.
Okay. Jersey,
I was in Florence, New Jersey, Burlington.
Okay. Burlington.
Willingboro.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all South Jersey area.
Right.
Where in Philadelphia?
Mostly the Northeast.
Okay. Northeast.
Yeah.
Okay. Where else did you say?
Virginia, Hampton, Virginia.
Hampton, okay.
Hampton, Virginia. Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Right.
San Antonio, Texas.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were just nationwide, like everywhere growing up?
I wouldn't say all that, but yeah, I bounced around quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now your favorite was clearly Japan?
Absolutely, hands down.
Okay. What was your favorite in the States?
The States. I don't even like the States. I guess Washington
Really?
State. Yeah.
Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like about Washington the most?
I like the people. Everybody there is just like really nice compared to, being on the East Coast. It's, it's a little bit more rough, meeting people. people are a little bit more abrasive.
Okay.
But out there, everybody's just warm and welcoming, and you know, everybody's real bubbly and just
Right.
yeah. So
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Now you said home is Japan.
Home is definitely Japan.
And what's your city again?
Yokosuka.
Yokosuka.
Yeah.
How would you describe it growing up?
It was a lot of Filipinos there, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, I learned a little bit of Tagalog, you know, living
Okay.
there. And, you know, just a lot of blended community. You know, you've had your whites, your blacks, your Asians, your Filipinos. It was really nice. I learned a lot. I was able to, you know, gain a lot from all the different cultures that were there. It was awesome. It was dope.
Now some of the friends that you had are still your friends to this day.
Absolutely.
Give
Family.
some of them a shout out.
Michelle Wood, Sophia Hill,
Monique.
Monique. Yeah.
Okay.
Latia, Jamie, Derica. It's so many.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So you had a lot of friends there.
We did. Yeah. It was a lot of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, were you an only child?
No, I got two brothers,
Older or younger?
older and younger.
Both. So you're in the middle. You're the middle
I'm
child.
the middle child.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between you and your younger brother?
About 3 years.
3 years. So imagine that you are 10 years old right now.
Mhm.
Then, your younger brother is 7.
Yeah.
How old is your older brother?
He's 11.
11?
Yeah.
Oh, really? So you guys are super close.
Mhm.
Okay, what was that like growing up in the house with 2 boys?
I'm a tomboy.
Really?
Yes. I climbed trees. I built forts. You know.
You were watching Transformers and X-Men with them?
Yeah, wrestling, everything.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
football, all that.
Okay, what was your relationship like with them?
I was close to my younger brother. Me and my older brother, we always bumped heads.
Why?
Always.
Why?
I have no idea. I think my mom always told me it was like some jealousy. My aunt kind of favored me a lot, so she would take me on all these trips and, you know, buy me all these things, and I would come home with like armloads of gifts and trinkets and stuff, and my brother would just be like, yo.
What about me? Right.
So I think a jealousy kind of developed over time.
Okay.
And then, you know, we never really talked.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And you and your little brother were
We were
closer?
tight. Yeah.
Okay.
We were tight.
Okay.
Mhm.
You grew up with both parents?
For a while, I did.
Okay. Okay. Until about when?
I was about 10.
Okay, got it. How would you describe your relationship with your mother and your father? Start with either one you want.
My relationship with them, as a kid, you know, it was great. You know,
With
Mom
both
was-
of them?
Yeah, Mom was Mom, and you know, she was definitely nurturing and loving and, you know, giving and all that. My dad, he was good. He was a good father. You know, he had his challenges.
Okay.
You know, definitely he had his challenges, but you know, besides that, he was a great father.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
So you said you lived with both of them up until you were 10.
Mhm.
So when they split up, were you with your mom or your dad?
I was with my dad at first,
Okay.
and then we, you know, maybe about a year later, we transitioned to, you know, being with my mom.
So that's interesting that you even said that, because most of the time, I'm gonna just create a fake percentage.
Right.
90% of the time, maybe even 95% of the time, parents break up and the kids go with their mom.
Right.
What was the decision? How did that happen that you went with your dad? Do you recall?
I do.
Okay.
Something happened to my mom.
Okay.
You know, and she just needed time.
Got it.
Basically. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Okay. So all three of you guys, or just you?
All three of us.
All three of us went with your dad. Okay. Okay. You said for like a year?
Just
Okay.
about.
Do you remember that, like, vividly? Like,
do.
did it affect you that your mom wasn't there anymore?
Definitely.
Like, looking back.
Definitely. definitely. It affected everyone in the household.
Okay.
Yeah.
How so?
You know, we were missing that nurturing. You know, my dad, he did his best.
Right.
But like I said, he definitely had his challenges.
So did it become like reckless abandon, free fall in the house with mom going?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay.
No, we weren't wild kids. My parents were strict.
Very disciplined military house.
Very much so.
So nothing changed in terms of like the rubber band that your dad let you guys stretch.
Nah.
Okay.
We had to stay on point.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, got it. You ultimately became a parent.
I did.
How many beautiful C's do you
I
have?
have three.
Three, okay.
Amazing kids.
What are their age ranges?
21,
Okay.
18, and 2.
And 2, okay.
2.
With that being said, you got 2 grown ones.
2 grown kids.
What would you say are some similarities and differences between your parents' parenting styles and yours?
Ooh, so many things. You know, growing up in my household, my parents, you know, we didn't go to church. My kids, all 3 of my kids grew up in church, you know.
Okay.
My youngest, he's growing up in church currently. I don't cuss around my kids.
Okay.
My parents were just free.
Both of them.
Very much so.
Got it. Okay.
You know, drugs and alcohol, you know, my kids didn't really, you know, they don't get to see me, you know, in that state of mind. Or,
Okay.
you know, like that. So, you know, there's definitely some differences.
Got it.
You know.
Any similarities?
Very much so.
Okay.
I'm very strict.
Really?
Very.
How so? Example.
I mean, you know.
Curfews.
Absolutely. Bedtimes, curfews. You know, you better not think about having no temper tantrum with me.
Right.
That's
right.
a no-go.
Okay.
You know, things like that. You know, traditional stuff.
Now, you said earlier that when your parents split up, that one of the ways it affected your life was that it kind of laid out a blueprint for what you might want in relationships going future. It was like relationship prep for you based on the things you saw. So based on the things you saw, you don't have to go into them. Excuse me. How did those affect your future? How did those things that you saw occur in your house affect your future relationships?
Well, I knew, in terms of my dad, I knew in choosing, you know, someone to be in my life, I knew that I didn't want anyone who was on drugs.
Okay.
I didn't want an alcoholic, you know, I didn't want, you know, if I saw any signs of abusive, you know, tendencies, you know, I definitely steer clear of that.
Okay.
And, you know, just, you know, I don't know. I'm trying to avoid to say some things. But,
Right.
But I definitely, in terms of my mom's relationship with her husband, her second marriage,
Okay.
that was, you know, something that I had looked at as an example of as to what I wanted.
Why?
They were into each other. They were always around each other. They were very affectionate with each other.
Okay.
I very rarely saw him disrespect her. He worshipped the ground she walked on. Like, you know, he adored my mother, and I was like, okay.
So you saw her in a different place.
Absolutely relaxed.
Okay.
You know, it was finally like, you know, she was able to rest, and I was grateful for that to my stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you wanted.
Absolutely.
Now your dad remarried as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you looked at that relationship. Did you get anything? Did you learn anything from that one, or was it kind of more of the same?
I learned that that's not what I want for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the very least, you learned from the situations that you were in.
Absolutely. absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember all the schools you went to growing up?
All but one.
Oh, but okay. How far back can you go?
Kindergarten.
Really? Okay, kindergarten. Let's go.
It was just Florence Kindergarten.
Okay.
Yeah, it was related to it was a separate building. It was like the old school schoolhouse.
Right.
It was just 2 classes,
Okay.
2 rooms, and it was kind of connected to the elementary school that was in town, but it was like 4 blocks away.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you went to that. You wound up going to that elementary school,
I did. That was Duffy Elementary.
Duffy Elementary in Florence.
In Florence.
Okay. And you went there from what? 1 to
1st grade to 6th grade.
Really?
Mhm.
So what was that experience like for you? Do you remember Duffy?
Yeah, it
Did
was
you-
cool.
okay.
Yeah, I still got friends from Duffy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you like school?
No,
No.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. I was smart,
Right.
but I didn't like school.
What didn't you like about it?
That was later on in high school.
Okay.
It's just immature. You know, I was, I guess, with everything that I had been through, I was a little bit emotionally advanced.
Okay.
So, dealing with high school drama, that just wasn't for me.
And the guys, like it seems like whether you're dealing with something at home or not, that females just tend to mature faster than guys. That's why most of the females deal with older guys, and you see less and less of. It's rare, not rare, but it's less common for a 16-year-old girl to be with a 16-year-old guy. She's usually with some 18-year-old or 19-year-old or 20-year-old guy, like who can kind of maybe match her maturity, right? And the same thing with the females. So you really didn't hang around a lot of girls, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did?
I
Okay.
did.
Okay. Okay.
In Japan, I did.
In Japan you did, but back in Florence in elementary.
No, I hung around some females there too.
Okay.
Later on, I think 5th and 6th grade,
Okay.
it was just me and 2 dudes,
Okay.
And one of them actually turned out to be my stepbrother later on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of school, you just didn't feel like being there, or?
In high school, once I got to Washington State, I was done. I was
Okay.
done with it. I was just like, you know what, I can't. The females were, trying to gang up on me, and just that high school drama,
Right.
talking about me. I'm like, listen, I'm gonna ruin y'all. This ain't where I need to be.
Right.
So, that was it for me.
Okay, got it. So you do 1 through 6.
1 through 6.
Duffy.
In Duffy.
7th grade, you go where?
Well, actually, 6th grade, I went to 4 different schools.
You went to 4 different schools in 6th grade?
6th grade, yeah.
How?
Just trying to transition to get ready to go to Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you knew you were going to Japan?
We did.
Okay, so you remember all 4 of them?
All but one.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was Duffy, and then we went to...
You started at Duffy. Okay.
Then we went to Bradley Beach Elementary.
Where is that?
In Bradley Beach, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Was that a different experience?
It was.
Okay.
I mean,
Excuse me.
a different set of kids, beach life.
Okay. So it's on the other side of the state.
It was, yeah.
Okay. By the shore.
Right.
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 Okay. Okay.
Then we went to, Virginia.
Okay. In Hampton.
Hampton, Virginia. That's the school I don't remember the name of that
Okay.
school.
Did something bad happen where you don't want to remember it?
No, we were only there for 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then after that we went to Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
And that was Sullivan Elementary.
So you went to Sullivan Elementary in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, when you're in Japan, are you on the military base or are you like in the city?
You start out in the city.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what was that like? Was it a complete culture shock from America?
It was.
Okay.
It was. And so what they do when you first get there, especially the kids, they take all the kids and they take them on a trip. And basically it's like an orientation trip.
Okay.
So you're touring, you know, different hot spots in Japan, close to the base or whatever. Then they take you to go see the Buddha. So that was like that was my intro to Japan. It was all these different places.
So Buddhism is the number one major religion.
Buddhism and Baptist, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? So Christianity is big in Japan?
Somewhat, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, after that.
So when they take you on the trip, were you like, yo, Japan is the truth?
No.
You didn't like it at first?
It wasn't that I didn't like it. It was just, everything was just so new. I didn't understand the language. You know, people are speaking Japanese. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Right.
You know.
And you got to eventually learn how to read it and write it, right?
Right. Well, you don't have to, but I did.
Okay.
Know, I don't remember any of it now, but, but I did learn how to, you know, read and write and navigate, you know, pretty easily.
Okay.
So
it was a culture shock for you at first.
It was.
Okay.
It was. And especially living out on town, you know, you don't know anybody. You want friends. You know, my first friend was a little Japanese girl. You know, a little bit younger than me, but.
You remember her name?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I want to say it was something like Hiromi or something like that.
Okay.
But she didn't speak any English.
Okay.
And I definitely didn't speak any Japanese. So.
She just saw another little girl like, play with me.
Right.
Right.
And, you know, when you first move over there and you move out into the neighborhood, the tradition is that every house surrounding you, all of your neighbors, they'll come and bring you a gift.
Really?
Yeah. And then you're supposed to go and get each one of them a gift.
Okay.
And then they get you a gift. And it just keeps going on, you know, for the entirety of your life.
Really?
In the community, yeah.
Okay. So they were really, the Japanese were receptive of Americans.
Right.
Okay.
There's designated houses over there that are, you know, strictly available for military families.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So probably another military family lived there before you guys did.
Maybe, yeah.
And after, right?
Yeah.
Like this is a military house. Okay, got it.
Right.
Okay, so you're in Japan now. You finished 6th grade there.
Right.
Okay. Were you behind? Were you ahead?
I was right on target.
Okay, so they weren't like ahead in the curriculum or anything.
No, it's the same curriculum.
Okay.
It's, you know.
So you're in Japan from 6th grade through what?
6th grade through. I finished.
You finished?
10th grade there.
Okay, and this is Kanagawa?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how was high school for you in Japan?
Man, that was everything.
Okay.
It was everything.
How so?
Just the camaraderie, the family. I mean, like I said, you have all these different cultures, but we're all family.
What were all the different cultures?
White, black, Japanese, Korean,
Okay.
and Filipino.
Okay, got it.
And Hispanic.
And Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. And most of you guys are, like, all of you are military brats, or
Most
is
of us.
military mixed in with the locals?
No locals.
No locals.
No.
Oh,
But
all.
some civilians.
Okay, got it. So you guys are all like everybody's from America,
Yeah.
and you guys are like, all right, everybody's sticking together. So it wasn't about the different cultures; it's about we're Americans.
Right.
Got it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
mean, you definitely still had some, you know, some rivalries, but it was minimal. Very
Okay.
minimal. Yeah.
So when people ask you where you were from, what did you tell them?
Jersey.
Oh, so you claim Jersey as home?
Well, since that was like the last.
The most recent place you were?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you have like a best friend?
It was a group of us.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was Latia.
Where was
Michelle.
she from? Where was Latia from?
Latia was actually from Philly.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it was Michelle. She's from Ohio.
She's from Ohio.
And then Sophia was from Virginia.
Okay. Oh wow. So
Thanks.
you guys were from.
Yeah.
It was like college before college, really, where everybody comes from everywhere. So,
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
How would you just? All right. So your overall experience was just amazing. You had a great time in high school.
I did. I mean, we, you know, I don't know. I can't tell you what the high school experience was in the States, so I don't have anything to compare it to.
Right.
But, I feel like, we had an enhanced high school experience. I mean, our prom was in Tokyo
Okay.
at a hotel, and we always would, get rooms and stay the night.
In 10th grade?
I went to proms.
Okay. Okay.
That's just, if you were invited, you go.
Right. Right.
And I wouldn't say I was one of the most popular kids, but I was popular enough.
Okay, got it. Got it. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now you said you only went there until 10th grade.
Yeah.
So what happened?
We had to leave.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to leave.
So you leave Japan and go where?
Washington.
Oh, back to the States.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And another culture shock? Were you like
It
frustrated? Like mad at the world? Like I want to still be in Japan. Why am I here?
We cried. Every last one of us cried the day we left.
Okay.
Yeah, it was heartbreaking. That was home.
You had been there for 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, going
5.
on 5. I was about to say
Oh.
going on 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And now, like all your real true friends are back there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you still in touch with any of them now?
All of them.
Okay.
All.
Social media helps.
It does. MySpace was
MySpace
the thing that
was-
brought everybody together. And
Yeah.
then
Okay.
and then now, Facebook. So.
Right, right. But MySpace was it in
Right.
the beginning. Right,
Yeah.
right. So you get back to so you're in Bremerton, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
How far is that from Seattle, by the way?
It's about an hour ferry ride. About an
Okay.
hour and a half drive.
Okay. North, south, east, west. Well, Seattle's on Seattle's on the ocean, right?
Yeah. Know what direction.
It's far. Got it. It's an hour.
Right.
An hour away. Okay. And what happened? So where'd you go to high school there?
Central Kitsap.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And how was your experience?
I left. After 2 months, I left, and I went to Job Corps.
So let's stop. What happened in that 2 months?
Actually, it was something I already knew that I was gonna do prior to me even getting to Washington. When I was in Japan, I knew that I was gonna be done with high school, and
Really?
Mhm.
Like what? How does that happen?
I had heard about the Job Corps program,
Okay.
and I felt like it was the perfect fit for me.
Okay.
Like I said, I had been through a lot in my childhood,
Right.
dealing with my parents, and
Okay.
where I was mentally. I needed, to be around adults, or
For someone watching who has no idea what Job Corps is, what is it?
it's just a facility, or a campus basically, for individuals who are looking to gain a skill, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
In like what?
You could do carpentry, become an electrician. I did nursing assistant.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the age minimum is 16.
16 to 24.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. So how long is the program?
It's as long. Really, it varies, because it depends on, which trade you choose. It depends on if you've got your high school diploma or not. And,
Okay.
So I went, and I completed my diploma, on my own time while I was there. And then once I was done with that, that's when I did the CNA course.
Got it. So you completed your whole course.
I did.
Okay. And then you did CNA afterwards.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, you said, all right, so before we even get to that, do you get a job? Like, do they help you? Do they place you?
There is job placement assistance there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't need that. I had other resources once
Okay.
I left there, so I was
All
able
right.
to get a job on my own.
So you were working.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And How long does that last?
You mean the Job Corps experience or my job?
Your job.
Oh, that lasted until I got married.
All right, so we skipped ahead. All right,
We
so
skipped ahead a lot.
let's go back. So how was Job Corps overall, though?
Job Corps was okay.
Okay.
I wish I would have taken more advantage of it though.
All right, so let's stop.
Mm-hmm.
Did your parents have a problem with Job Corps? Like with you dropping out of high school?
No, as
No.
long as I was going to continue to be productive and continue to strive towards something,
Okay.
you know, they were okay with it.
Now, are you at home and then you go to class?
No, I had to move. It was like maybe 3 or 4 hours away from
Really?
home. Yeah.
Oh, so you physically live at Job Corps?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Now, was that a culture shock for you? Being so young and away from your family for the first time? I'm assuming it's for the first time?
It was for the second time.
For the second time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I had left Japan and went to Philly for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I went to Lincoln High.
Oh, you went to Lincoln?
I did.
Okay, in the
For
Northeast?
just, yeah, for just a short while, like 10 months.
Who were you living with?
My aunt.
Okay. Shout out to Auntie.
Auntie.
So wait. What grade was this? Ninth? Ninth.
10th grade.
Okay. So how did that happen? If you care to get into it. If you don't, then
Dealing with things that I had to deal with from my childhood, it took a toll on me. And I didn't have the resources in Japan that I needed,
Okay.
so I had to come back to the States to get those resources.
okay, got it. So you came back to the States the first time, but even though you're in Philly, you're with your aunt, you're with your family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't mentioned it, but let's assume everything went well with your aunt. You guys were good.
Oh, it was good. I had too much freedom, but it was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you get back to Japan from Philly?
It was just time for me to go. There was an incident in Philly, and my grandfather was like, "Nope, it's time for you to go."
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I had too much freedom.
Care to discuss the incident or no?
I was attacked. Yeah,
By girls?
a dude.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, my grandfather was like,
You gotta go back.
"Yeah."
Okay.
He called my mom. He was like, "You need to come get your daughter."
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was, a late night. I shouldn't have been out, type of thing.
Okay. But we're not blaming you for what he did, though.
Of course not. Of
Okay.
course not. No.
Got it. But you're saying you had some blame in it in the first place. You shouldn't have been out, right? Okay. Got it. Okay. Now, so you go back to Japan from Philly, then you come back to the States, but this time you're in Washington.
Right.
You decide, you already knew in the first place you were done with high school. So why'd you even enroll in the first place, by the way, for that 2 months?
There was a waiting period.
Oh, got it, for Job Corps. So you're
And
you're
I didn't
going to
wanna
school
sit idle.
until,
Right.
got it. Go to the Job Corps, you do how much time there?
10 months.
Okay,
Yeah.
in the CNA program. Okay, got it. And now you're working and you meet some guy and get married? How does that happen?
Yeah. I think I was 17.
Okay.
And, I'm still new to Bremerton because I had went to Job Corps, so when I graduated from Job Corps and got back home, it was like, I don't know anybody. This is when Yahoo just started really popping. And,
Right.
So I met somebody, and then we finally physically met
Okay.
after maybe 2 months or something like that. And then
Of instant messenger back and forth.
right. And then I think about 3 months later, we were married.
You're 17.
I had just turned 18. So we met when I was 17. We meet face to face. And then I think maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, after we physically met,
Okay.
is when I turned 18. And that night, I think I went to work. I was 17. When I got off work, I was 18.
Oh, wow.
I went home, packed my stuff, and I was gone.
So you just wanted to be grown immediately.
Immediately. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Now, You said that you, like, when you originally went to Job Corps because you wanted to be a paramedic? Or you want, like...
I wanted to get into the medical field. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it just yet.
Okay.
While I was at Job Corps is when I decided that I wanted to be a paramedic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were trying to get a job at the fire department?
I was.
Why?
I graduated.
What's the association with fire department and being a paramedic?
They do an EMT program. So if you volunteer as a firefighter, they will basically foot your bill.
Really?
To become an EMT. Yeah.
Okay. Because a lot of times the fire department is the first responders to like things that happen.
Right.
Okay, got it. So that makes sense that a lot of them are EMTs.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, an EMT is a paramedic. There's no distinction.
There is a distinction.
There is. What's the difference?
Absolutely. Schooling. An EMT, there's certain restrictions. There's
And by the way, what does EMT stand for? Emergency medical
technician.
Okay.
The paramedics are,
Who's higher?
paramedic.
Paramedic is higher.
Very
Okay.
much so.
Okay.
EMTs, they're limited on the things that they can do.
Like what? What can't they do?
They can't cut anybody open.
And a paramedic can?
If it's a dire emergency, if they get permission from the hospital, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Certain things, yeah.
So there was a free EMT program
Yeah.
with the fire department. Did you get in?
I did not. My mom would not sign off on it. Right. So that's kind of how I, got into, just trying to meet some people. I was idle, just going to work, coming home, just going.
Did you guys get into a big fight? Did your mom tell you why she wouldn't sign off on it?
Yeah, she was. We didn't really get into a fight, but she was definitely concerned. She was like, if anything happens to you, as a firefighter, I'm gonna feel guilty. I can't sign off on that.
She didn't want her to be
I'll never forget
responsible.
myself, right?
Okay. So you could have signed off on it yourself when you turned 18,
But by then, I had already.
life had happened. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, I got distracted, unfortunately.
So did you want to get married or did he?
He wanted to get married, and I just kind of went along with
He
it.
proposed to you. Okay. Got it. How did that work out?
We're not together.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
You
I've
feel
got
like it
two
was too early?
beautiful- Definitely.
Okay.
But, I've got two beautiful girls out of it.
Oh, so both of your daughters came out of the marriage.
Right.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. So you guys were young, and how long did the relationship last?
6 years.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Let me ask you this question: on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst possible and 10 being the best ever, how would you personally rate your childhood?
A 6.
A 6. Okay. What would have needed to occur for you to have said 7 or 8?
I would have wanted my dad to be sober.
Okay. Okay, got it.
And I would have wanted my mom to not be so broken, but I don't blame either one of them for, their shortcomings at all.
Right, because parents aren't perfect.
Right, we all come from a place.
Right.
So, but yeah, if those two things were better, that would have been great.
Okay. Do you have a worst childhood day or time period that you would like to forever forget?
There's a few of them.
Okay.
Yeah. One in particular, I'll never be able to erase from my mind. Watching, growing up in an abusive home is not easy on anyone.
Trust me, I know.
So, and then, watching your mother endure a lot of that abuse is tough. It's one thing for it to happen to yourself, you
Right.
know, but to watch, the woman who gave birth to you, the one who nurtures you, the one who feeds you, get her face beaten that's devastating, and it has lasting effects. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the day in particular, it was one of the last times that my parents had a fight,
Okay.
and it was pretty brutal. We had this table, really sturdy wood table in our dining room, and the leg was kind of like broken. And so, my dad, he had gotten high, he was been drinking, they started arguing, and,
How old are you for this?
I'm about 9, 10.
Okay.
Yeah. And he, he's in a rage, and he rips the leg off the table. He starts to beat her really badly.
Right in front of you.
In front of me and my little brother.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, like always, I jumped in the middle, and that was the only thing stopping him.
At 10 years old, you jumped in it.
Always.
Okay.
At 6, 7, 8.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because
I
I've
was
had
always the
other interviews where women have said they physically saw their dad hit their mom and they did nothing because they were little girls.
Yeah.
So you were a different type of person.
I was a tomboy. My dad taught me how to fight.
Okay.
Yeah. And he was, into boxing and martial arts. So he taught me, all different types of things.
So you weren't afraid of your dad?
No.
All right. So he's beating your mom up. Sorry to hear that. And you jump in it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. It was the only thing that would stop him from beating her. While I was standing there, he would not swing.
Okay.
And so what tore me up was my mom was begging me to go next door because he had already ripped the phone out the wall. So my mom was begging me to go next door and, call the cops, get the neighbors to call the cops. I didn't want to leave.
Right.
I'm standing there in the middle of my nurturer and my hero. My dad was my hero. When
Okay.
he was sober, he was amazing. He was perfect, but it was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, basically.
Okay.
So I'm torn. So, I've got my little brother, he's crying, and he's on the floor, he doesn't want to move, and I'm like yelling at him, like, you go next door.
Because if you're 9 or 10, he's 7 or 6. He's a
Six,
little
six or
kid.
seven, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, I'm like, go next door and go call the cops. I gotta stay here because if I move, he's gonna hit mom.
Right.
So I'm torn, but he won't go. So I'm like, do I stay here and protect my mom, or do I go? And my mom's
Which is a tough decision for a child to have to make.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I finally, my mom's begging me. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, let me go. So I run over there, and
Right next door.
right, and the minute the door closed behind me, I could just hear her screaming all over again. So I'm like, all right, well, let me hurry up and call the cops, and I'll come back. I get over there, call the cops. The neighbor, she already knew what was up because this was normal. So she's calling the cops, but she would not let me go. She would not let me get back over there. And I just could hear my mom just being tormented.
From the next door house.
And there was nothing I could do about it. And that was my job, was to protect my mom. That, I felt like that's my job. So if I'm not there, who's going to, so, that's a day that, I could do without in my memory.
So what? So the cops come. Do the cops come?
Yeah.
And what happens?
My dad gets arrested, and,
For the record, I'm not defending your dad. I'm just saying the guy always gets arrested, even if he didn't hit her.
Right.
Right.
Well, not always. I mean, Florence was a small town. Everybody knew everybody,
Okay.
including the cops. Mr. Officer Brown, he was a regular.
Oh, you knew the cop who came?
Right.
Okay.
He's a regular. He knew us.
He already knew what it was.
Right.
He liked these two again.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So,
Wait. So your dad gets arrested.
Mhm.
And what happens to your mom? Did she press charges? She go up to the jail too?
she never pressed charges.
She never pressed charges. Okay. Like, so your mom just stayed, you guys stayed home with your mom?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So when did you see your dad again after that?
The next day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They probably bailed himself out after he
There's
came off.
no bail needed because she never pressed charges.
Ah, right. Right. Okay, got it. Got it. But that's one we would like to forget.
Absolutely.
So when you say there were several of this type of interaction?
Yeah, several of that, and some other stuff that I've, had to endure as a kid. Being molested was another thing that I had to endure. So, yeah.
Got it. Got it. These are the things that are tough, that kind of like, you're so guarded, even with your kids, right?
Absolutely.
Whatever, like the signs are all there. And you're like, nope, not my daughters.
Right.
Got it. Got it. Let me flip it. Let's see if we can do this. Do you have a favorite childhood day or time period that you would like to go back to if you could?
Favorite. Yeah. I mean, we spent a lot of time going to all the amusement parks. Those were our getaways. That would break up the monotony of home life.
Okay.
Every amusement park short of Disney World.
Okay.
We would be all up and down the coast. So my aunt, she was good. She knew
The
what was
same
going
aunt from
on.
Philly?
A different aunt.
Okay.
But from Philly, yes.
Oh, your aunts from Philly?
Most of my family's from Philly.
Give your aunts a shout out. Who was the one you stayed with when you came home from Japan?
Aunt Kim.
Aunt Kim.
Yeah.
Shout out to Aunt Kim.
Aunt Kim.
And the
Shout
aunt
out.
that's taking you to all the amusement parks is Aunt who?
Aunt Sharon.
Aunt Sharon. Shout out to Aunt Sharon. There it is.
Word. So, yeah, she would always make sure that, she would step in to help break up the
Did you have some favorite amusement parks?
Dorney Park.
Really? Darney Park?
King's Dominion.
Okay.
Yeah.
King's Dominion is in VA.
Right.
Darney Park, I think, is in PA.
Yeah, and Hershey Park.
Hershey is in
Hershey was
PA.
in
And
PA.
Hershey, yep.
Yeah.
And you also said there was a time in South Korea where you had a great day.
Yes. I mean, we would go to South Korea just to shop for the weekend.
Okay.
We would, fly.
Now,
from
how
Japan.
how far was South Korea from Japan?
I want to say it was like a 2-hour flight.
A 2-hour flight.
Mhm.
You would go just to shop.
Just to shop.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you guys have a private military plane, or would it be commercial, or would it be like a helicopter?
It was a military plane, so you would go basically on standby if you wanted to fly for free.
Okay.
Yeah. So you would go in the hopes that there was a seat available.
Oh, that's what standby means.
Mm-hmm. Well, a
Okay.
hop. We called it a hop. You take a
Okay.
hop.
Take a hop. So there's like 50 seats on the plane. If only like 45 of them are filled, then you guys get the hop.
Right.
Got it. Interesting. So you did a lot of hopping.
I did. We did. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, we would go over there sometimes just to get contacts
Okay.
and come back.
Specifically in Seoul?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you like about Seoul?
Just, all the shops. I mean, you could get everything tailor-made.
Okay.
It was nice.
So Seoul was Tokyo more like New York, or is Seoul more like New York? Or both?
Tokyo is definitely more like New York.
Okay, what would you compare Seoul to? Philly?
That's hard because I really did not pay too much attention to the landscape. I just
You had money and it was
shop,
go
right?
time. Got it.
It was either shopping or in the hotel room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Besides anything, and you might have mentioned it already, is there anything that occurred in your childhood that you feel affected your life forever, either negatively or positively?
All of it.
All of it. Okay.
Yeah. Watching
Okay.
my mother, deal with that abuse was, it was really tough. It was really tough. And then, just her being who she was, dealing with her brokenness. I mean, she had, she came from a really, really rough childhood too. So, that does not go, unrewarded. so to speak. She definitely went through her thing, just being a woman.
Okay.
And trying to navigate out here. So on top of that, trying to be a mom.
Right.
It was definitely tough on her. And then being a mother of a little girl, with all of the different, potential threats to little girls out here.
Okay.
It was tough on her.
Got it. Now you mentioned, which seems like something that'd be critical, and if you don't want to go into it, we will keep going. You got molested when you were a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Was your older brother there to, well, I guess he clearly wasn't there to protect you. Was it a family member as usual, or was it somebody you didn't know?
It was a cousin.
A cousin. Okay.
An older cousin. Mm-hmm.
And if you care to go into it, what happened?
It was like a game at first, basically was grooming,
Okay.
which I learned much later in life. But yeah, she definitely groomed me. It was a female. And, she made it like it was a game, and
So you didn't even know that you were doing anything wrong until you got older.
I knew I was doing something wrong because she told me that, we can't say anything, otherwise I'll get in trouble.
Ah.
Yeah.
Right.
So when it happened to me again, from one of my brother's friends, I was terrified because my brother was quick to tell. I was like, no, don't say anything. I'm going to get in trouble. Don't say anything, I didn't realize that I was a victim.
Right.
Yeah. I was young. So, yeah. So.
How would you say that affects you growing? Like, even looking back now, how would you say that affected you? Or maybe it still is?
I mean, every relationship I ever had, it was tough. Sexually, it was very, very tough. I didn't know what to do with my body. It was painful. It was rough. I really just couldn't enjoy, a sexual relationship for a very, very long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So do you ever get over that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has to be a guy that you really are into and in love with?
No, it wasn't even about a guy. It's just about self-healing,
Okay.
self-realization,
How did you heal? Because some women don't. Some people don't.
It was intentional. I mean, like I said, I come from a long line of women, broken women, So, and I guess, for me, church helped a lot.
Okay.
I didn't grow up in church, but when I got married, he introduced me to the church, and that was my rock. That's what got me through. That's what helped me to heal, just clinging to, the Word of God and, trying to get understanding. It really helped me to look deeper into myself and pull some nonsense out.
Now, speaking of your older brother, you mentioned that there was an incident with him on a bike.
Yeah.
That kind of affected you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was the protector for my whole family. It wasn't just
Not
my mom.
just your mom.
Right. It was my older brother, my younger brother. I fought for all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, my brother, it was me, my homegirl, Tina. We was coming up the railroad tracks. We lived right in front of the railroad tracks. It was, a set right in front of our house. So we was coming up the railroad tracks. We was going down towards the projects, which I wasn't supposed to be. But I was never allowed in the projects, but
right.
I went anyway, Maple Woods. So we was headed that way, and right on the corner, I spotted my brother, and he's just sitting on the bike crying, and there's 3 boys surrounding him, and they're all taking turns just smacking him in the face. And I'm like,
you walking up on this like, yo, that's my brother?
Right. And I'm getting hype. I'm like, yo, get off the bike and fight back. I'm like, I'm mad. I'm like, why are you just sitting there?
Right.
So I'm like, all right, let me go down the street and get my dad, because my house was literally a block away. So I knew my dad was out barbecuing, so I was like, let me run down here real quick. Let me go get him. He'll handle this, right? Not so. I get all the way down there. He's like, all right, come with me. So he takes me to the backyard. He goes to the tree. He breaks a stick off the tree and hands it to me. He was like, go handle that. I'm looking at the stick like, go handle what? What you want? You're supposed to come with me. He was like, nah, go handle that. And I'm like, all right. So I'm like, all right, team, you come on, let's go.
Right,
So I mob back down there. And
They're still there.
They're still there, torturing my brother. I'm not having that.
Right.
So I took that stick and I whooped they behind all the way down the street.
All three of them.
All three of them. They just running from me. I don't care. That's my brother. You don't mess with my family.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
And then that carried on into just today. You don't play.
I don't play. Not about my family.
Okay.
Yeah, not about my family, my loved ones. I don't play. Yeah. I
What-
mean, I'm not going to fight, but you know what I'm saying? I have my ways.
What is your overall perception? Like, who is the Shantá that you became today? Who is the woman that you became? What is your overall perception of how your childhood molded you, if at all, into the woman you became?
I'm loving. You know, that's the woman I became. I became a woman full of love, full of forgiveness. I'm a cushion for people's growth. You can make mistakes with me, and, you know, you can't make too many mistakes with me, but, you know, I'm going to help you grow. I'm going to help you. If you don't do anything else when you meet me or develop a relationship with me, you're going to grow up. So, you know, but you're going to do it gracefully, and you're going to do it with a covering, because I'm not going to be like you. I'm not, you know, I'm not abrasive. I'm a ball of love. You know, that's who I became.
That's an interesting phrase. I've never heard anybody say that. You are a cushion for people's growth.
Absolutely.
What, you probably just explained it, but in a nutshell, what does that mean?
It means when you mess up, basically when you fall, I'm going to catch you, and I'm not going to make you feel bad about it. It's going to be a soft landing.
Okay.
And it's going to be a platform for you to be able to bounce back off of and grow and propel forward.
Interesting. So when people make mistakes with you,
It's not a death sentence. It's not the end. It's not, you're not a bad person. You know, you're not a villain. You're not a, you know, I don't look at things like that.
wow, you
We
turned
all
into
are.
a strong woman.
I have to be. I have to be. I still deal with a lot, so I have to be.
Okay. Give some advice to blank-year-old you. So knowing everything that you know today, everything you've experienced, all the places you've been, all the things you've seen, if you could talk to a younger version of yourself, you pick the age, how old would this Shantá be, and what would you say to her? What would be the advice that you would give to her? Who do you want to give advice to?
17-year-old me.
17-year-old Shantá, what would you say to her?
Stay focused and never relinquish your power to anyone.
What does that mean?
Like I said, I come from a long line of broken women. And so within that brokenness, there's a lot of insecurity, you know, that I had. I didn't think I was good enough. I definitely didn't think that I made any right decisions in life, you know. So I always sought out who I thought was the wisest and who I thought was the smartest. And I'd be like, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? Well, what do you think I should do? You know, not realizing that I had my own power, not realizing that I'm the only one that knows what's best for me and what's best for my life. You know, going to my dad and, you know, everybody has these, you know, visions for you, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that lines up with what you should be doing for yourself. And not everybody really knows you deeply, you know, even your parents. So, yeah, they have, you know, great intentions for you and for your future, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they know what's best for you. Only you know that, you know. And it took me a long time to figure that out for myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would tell, excuse me, 17-year-old Shantá to not relinquish her power to anyone.
At all. Yeah. Because that's where it started for me. Yeah.
Okay. Shantá, we thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Welcome you back anytime.
Awesome. This is great.